Welcome back to West Fork, friends. You guessed it, I got a new axe. I've been wanting one of these bad boys for a long time. I've never used one of these until this came in the mail the other day, and it is a wicked carving machine. This is the Gransfors Bruk's large carving hatchet. I think they call it the large carving axe. And I don't have all the specs on it. I know it's heavier than some carving hatchets, but I've been carving for days. Finally came up for air today, and I figured I would tell you all about it. I've just been carving like crazy. As you probably know, it came with a nice little leather sheath that fits on here just like this. It hasn't been in the sheath much since I picked it up. But these are great for hewing, and I found a great use for it. I've been carving spoons for several days. We've had weather around 0 degrees, so I've been staying in the carving shack, close to the wood stove, with this thing kind of locked inside with my new axe, and I've been having a ball. The Swedish carving hatchet is useful for many different tasks, but what I use mine for is to carve spoon blanks. And I've been using the wildlife hatchet to do this. Well, this weighs quite a bit more, almost twice as much with the handle than the wildlife hatchet. It also has that guillotine shaped blade with a nice long beard on it, which is so good for slicing. As you can see, the bit enters the wood at an angle and just shaves the wood away. And I don't have to swing it very hard because of the weight of the axe. I really had to learn how to back off because the weight of the axe does most of the work. And I have had some viewers ask if the wildlife hatchet, the Gransfors wildlife hatchet, is suitable for spoon carving. And it most certainly is. I've used this for a long time. It's good for finesse work. This is going to take me longer to rough out blanks. So right now what I'm doing is using my big hatchet to rough my blanks out, to get rid of all the wood that I don't need to make a spoon. And then when I get close, when I get this down to where I want to carve in the very shape of the spoon, I can grab my wildlife hatchet and do the detail work. I'll draw a pattern on here, and I can shave it right back to the lines real easily. This is nice for carving. This thing here, this thing is a beast for roughing out blanks. A lot of my blanks are birch. And man, the problem with this thing is I just don't know when to stop chopping, because it's just, it is a wicked machine. Yeah, I've made a big old mess out here. I'm gonna have to clean this up. I got a big old mess in here too. I've been chopping for days. I haven't swept the floor. I've just been chopping some more. And yeah, here's my little indoor portable chopping block. I've just been in here making a big old mess. Here's what I've been up to, carving these spoons. These some of these are roughed out and some of them are finished. These over here, they're finished. And I got some more to go. And then in here I got some more spoons drying. I axed these out yesterday using the Gransfors carving axe. I got these little bad boys, and they're drying. I put them inside these bags so they don't dry too fast. And then got a couple more. These are going to have wider handles, so maybe I can do some lettering on those, maybe some decoration. So those are all roughed out with the help of that new axe. And yeah, Let these dry for a couple days, and they'll be ready to work on. Right now, I got a couple problems I need to get worked on. One is, this is getting pretty bad in here. I'm tracking the chips everywhere, tracking them in the cabin, and Sarah doesn't appreciate it. And then the other problem is I got axes all over the place and I don't know where to put them. So I've been keeping this one over here by my little portable chopping block, and I got my Swedish forestry axe just leaning on the wall, and I got the new carving axe just piled on top of the messy workbench here. And then my backup wildlife hatchet, that one's Sarah's. Anyway, I don't have anywhere to put them. Yeah, I do have this little area right here that's not being used. And if I put a piece of wood across there with some pegs on it, I was thinking maybe I could hang all these axes in here like this. I think they'll all fit. At least 3 of them would. And that would solve that problem. So yeah, that's a plan. Before I get started with that though, I'm going to grab a broom and swamp this place out. Strike anywhere. Okay. I usually like to do all my hatchet work outside, and even in the snow it's fine, but lately last couple weeks it's been below 0 just about every morning. Around 5 to 8 below. I think one morning it got down to 10 below. And I guess I'm getting old because it starts making me feel pretty stiff to work outside in that kind of cold. And we had a lot of wind blowing too, so not heavy wind, but this constant breeze, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And it was, well, a lot of work keeping the fires going, and I didn't feel like videotaping because I was pretty busy just kind of keeping things going on the homestead. So anyway, when it got real cold like that, I was just in here. I ordered that hatchet. I found it on eBay. It was a pretty good discount. It was pre-owned, but the guy didn't use it. It had never been used. He was selling his whole collection of Gransfors axes. I don't know how many, over a dozen axes that he had for sale on eBay. But anyway, I noticed he had the exact hatchet that I wanted. Gransfors is making those with the left and right hand grind now, and I wanted a symmetrical grind. So luckily that's exactly what it was. And then when it came in the mail, it increased my productivity so much that I've been able to get all these spoon blanks roughed out. So I've been having a lot of fun doing the knife work and doing some decorating on the handles. And now I got to get this place swamped out. Oh, did you want to come in? Take it to your rug. Take it to your rug there. Good dog. Well, the report on Tig is she's having a bad day today with her bad leg. We're supposed to keep her off her leg. We're supposed to make sure she stays in her bed and not let her run. Well, we have to take her out to go to the bathroom. As soon as we open the door, she takes off running, and she was almost better. She was walking without a limp, and yesterday she must have tweaked something, but she's back to limping again. We're giving her a little aspirin, which helps, but anyway, would the dog like a biscuit? Stay. You stay on your rug. Oh, yeah. Here's a biscuit. Stay. There you go. No. Hey. You cheated. Stay. Stay. No, there you go again. Stay. Stay. Okay. Good dog. That's a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. It's going to get more on it, more shavings on it eventually. I've been saving all this waste wood, and it dries on the floor pretty fast. Makes good fire starter. This workbench is a disaster area. I get to carving and I get all my tools and spread them all over the place. I'm going to put these spoon knives in here where they belong. I've been struggling with where to store all my knives and chisels. So, yeah, I made this little rack. I had some 1x4, drilled a bunch of holes in it, and then these holes I drilled all the way through. So these dowels, they go all the way through. These are the legs that hold the different shelves. So I put 3 of them in here, 3 shelves. And then I put 2 outer legs and then 1 rear leg in the center. It's pretty good. It's pretty sturdy. I got room for a few supplies down here at the bottom. And all my different Sloyd knives here, including that Swedish barrel knife. You remember that one? It's got an honorary place right here. And so yeah, it keeps things organized. Didn't cost me, well, I already had the dowels, some scrap dowels. And I put these little legs on the bottom, just little feet sticking out to keep it from tipping over. Yeah, well, this is the design that I made up. It's got these dowels. They stick up about 16 inches, and they go through that center shelf. I didn't even glue that. It's got a couple nails drilled in the back there to keep it from sliding, but I pre-drilled it and installed nails. Anyway, it works pretty good if you have a lot of knives. It's a quick and easy little bench top organizer. I also put legs on my palm chisel boxes so I could keep those vertical without the chisels falling out. And that's pretty much my whole carving kit right there. I have a few expansion holes if I get a urge to pick up a new knife once in a while. I don't know. Kind of reached the end of my budget. Well, friends, the shop's looking a lot better. You can actually walk through here now and you can see the countertops and the floors. Anyway, this is a little spot I thought I'd put my little axe rack. I was thinking about just putting a board across here with some pegs in it. So it's right by the door. When I need an axe, I can just come in and grab it. It's out of the way. It's not near the heater, so it won't... there's a wall heater over here. There's a fire extinguisher. I don't want to get everything tangled up. And I don't want the wall heater drying my handles out. So this is a nice cool, not too hot location, not too close to the wood stove. There's cracks in the door here, so it's not going to get too hot back here. Good place to store axes. This is 17 3/4 of an inch, so I need a board that'll fit across here that I can put some pegs in. I think I'm just going to put these 3 axes on that wall, because the other one, I don't use that axe too much. That's my wife's, and she likes to keep it in the RV. So I think I'll just store it in the RV, because I don't want this, that wall's pretty short and I don't want it to get too crowded. And this is already pushing it, so I can nestle this up in like that and bring this up in like that. So we have 17 1/2. It's going to put this peg at 4 inches. Yeah, I think 4 inches will be just right. This one at 10 1/2 and this one at 14. 4, 10 1/2, and 14. Let's go see what we have in the shop. Got to looking around and I found this old 1x3 that's painted brown, and which is the same trim color down there. This is an old piece of baseboard, I guess, but it's a little grubby, but I think it'll be just right. I'll just wash it up after I get it cut to length. Need about 17 1/2 inches. A little bit of a warp there, so I think I'm going to take a piece of this here. 17 1/2. Always have to double check my work after I make a saw cut, because, well, I'll be darned. I've goofed a few times, but that's 17 1/2 right on the money. So this is a little dirty. I'm going to get some soapy water and yeah, that's hot. Yeah, it won't take much to get that cleaned up. It's a little grubby. Oh yeah. Well, it's not perfect, but nobody's going to be looking at this when they can look at the axes hanging there. So I'm going to call that good enough. Yeah, so I believe I want to put those pegs right in the center there, so I'll mark the center point, poke some starter holes. There's one. 2. Perfect. I love these kind of projects where you can use things that you already have. Like this piece of wood has been floating around up in the loft for a while. Just what I need. And then years ago I ordered these wooden pegs. Now these were, I thought they were going to be about 6 inches long, and I could use them in the broom shop around the top to hang our broom stock on, maybe 4 or 5 brooms per peg. Well, anyway, I wasn't paying attention and ended up, they're only 2 inches long. And but they're made out of hard rock maple, and they have a little head on the end. That head's a little bit too big. It's a little too big to go through the eye of a Gransfors axe, so I'm going to sand those down just a little bit and use these for our pegs. Well, that looks like it's going to do the trick. These fit in there nice and snug. I'm not going to put them all the way in because I want to put glue in there. I don't want to compress the wood fibers and then have it. I just want to put the glue in there and tap them in so they're not loose. But anyway, that's sort of the idea right there. So it'll be the Scandinavian forest axe, the carving axe, and the wildlife hatchet. Okay friends, we're back in the carving shack, getting ready to put this thing together. I've got some Titebond 3, the ultimate wood glue. That's the #1 rated glue by the pros. So anyway, I think that ought to be strong enough to hold those pegs. Put some glue on these bad boys. Oh yeah. Yeah, that wall's warped, or the board's warped. I think I'll back that off a little bit just to get this seated in there. Oh, it's right on the money. It looks crooked in this corner, but it's not. Nice. I think that's going to work out great. It's hardly noticeable. Matches the trim down on the floor. So let's put some axes on there. Well, I sure hope my measurements are right. Scandinavian forest axe. Oh, that's nice. It won't fall off unless you lift it up. That one fits. Swedish carving hatchet. Oh yeah. And the wildlife hatchet. Oh, I like it. That's so much better. I know right where they're going to be. And my measurements worked out. Well, that's about it for today. We got the shop cleaned up. Introduced you to a new member in the family. And I'll feel a lot better knowing that it's hanging here next to its brothers. I look forward to doing some more videos featuring the Swedish carving hatchet. I'd like to do a silent ladle carving where I go out into the forest and harvest a bent branch and carve a ladle from it. Also, a hatchet this nice deserves a full review, and I'll put that on my list of videos coming up here real soon. Until next time, God bless you, my friends. This is West Fork, over and out.